Hey Bozo. Recently, I've gotten back into Tekken, and as you can see, one of the playable characters you can verse is Kuma, a bear. After practicing my combos so much, I got to thinking, maybe I can pull this off in real life. Yeah, I reckon I can take a grizzly in a fight. You know, I've come to realize that a lot of my videos have topics that are easily demonetized. Force-feeding Victorian children fast food, sending billions of babies to battle nuclear bombs. Let me be clear, a win state in this video does not necessarily involve loss of life. If you can hold them down for 10 seconds, knock them unconscious, or land a hit and evade until the time limit, I'll count it as a win. Please know that YouTube does prohibit things like animal abuse, so these thought experiments have to be purely hypothetical. If you want the real-life trials, you can follow me on Kick.
Detecting multiple Leviathan-class life forms in the region. Are you certain whatever you're doing is worth it?
To start with, let's cover the things that we simply cannot defeat. These are the behemoths of nature, biological tanks that win out with sheer mass and volume. Against them, I find our victory an impossibility, all because they are just too big. The reason we have weight classes in combat sports is because larger and heavier things hit with more energy. A fast-moving ping pong ball will sting, but a truck moving at the same speed will have you greeting each neighbor simultaneously. To put it into perspective, a human leg weighs 10 to 40 kilograms, while a whale's tail weighs 10 to 40 100 kilograms. To be clear, I am just talking about the flukes of a whale, just the propeller part, not the tons and tons of muscle that drive it. Your kick could probably dent a wall, but theirs would dent a building. We can apply the same line of thinking to durability as well. Larger creatures tend to have thicker skin, tougher muscles, and stronger bones. Impacts that would be fatal for you and me would be nigh unnoticeable for larger animals. Again, if we were to compare humans to whales, our skin thickness is around 3 millimeters, while a whale's skin thickness is around 50 centimeters. That's like comparing an apple's skin to the whole apple. Forget winning, it'll be hard for Whale Senpai to even notice you. In this class of giants, I would include animals like whales, orcas, elephants, rhinos, hippos, great whites, crocodiles, moose, grizzly bears, polar bears, and giraffes. There's probably a lot of other animals that I need to get informed of, like the giant eland, but the general idea is that they are big and you are not. If you think that you have a shot at beating any of these animals, please stop cracking your fingers, or else they'll finger your crack. What is the largest animal that you think you can beat in a fight?
Giraffe.
Kangaroo. A manatee.
Let me search up big birds real quick.
Rhino.
Maybe a goat?
This next class of creatures is where we can start putting points on the board. These animals are still larger, stronger, and tougher than us, but not so much as to be completely invulnerable. Given the right techniques, strategies, and a little helping of luck, it's possible for a person to evade, trip up, or knock these opponents out. Because of this, I imagine there would be a sizable portion of guys whose answer would be somewhere in this range. Me? I think I can take on a horse. Oh, you meant in the fight. On the higher end of things, you have big cats like tigers, lions, leopards, jaguars, and cheetahs. They would be much stronger and faster than you, but can be intimidated if you make yourself seem large and noisy. If and when they close the distance, protect your neck and attack with anything nearby. If a 62-year-old man can scare them off with a stick, you'll have a shot too. Great apes like gorillas and orangutans are hella strong and surprisingly nimble. Take the opposite approach if you want to avoid confrontation. Appear weak, look away, and whatever you do, do not smile or yell at them. If they've already closed the distance, you should try and target their weak points. Aim for the groin, eyes, and throat, and you might have a chance at scaring them off. They'll be faster than you but don't have as much stamina, so if you can gas them out, you will be much safer. With charging animals like bulls, deer, horses, and sheep, dodge to the side if they are charging and back up to avoid kicks. They will most likely aim for movement, so distract them with clothing, hide behind obstacles to avoid a direct line of attack, and do whatever you can to trip them up. I would like to reiterate that the chances of winning are pretty low. A tiger's bite can crush your skull, a gorilla can rip off your limbs, and a horse's kick can perforate your ribcage. For me, going from the titans to these guys is like going from a 0% chance to a 2% chance, so my answers would lie elsewhere. Regardless, there have been precedents and the world is large. I'm sure that there are people out there who can actually pull it off. Again, I know that I have definitely missed a bunch of animals that would have fallen under this category. Ostriches, kangaroos, wolves, zebras, etc. If I missed anything, please comment their species and how you deal with them down below. While you're typing things out, I'm just gonna pull up a mid-roll ad. You back? Alligators are a pretty good choice. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. In the last section, I had said that my answers lied elsewhere. Well, welcome to elsewhere. I am confident I can win against these species because now the size advantage is on my side. Remember, you don't necessarily have to rip and tear like Doom Guy to win. Bear hugging to restrain them long enough would suffice, and honestly, it would seem more like roughhousing to them. Animals like penguins, capybaras, dogs, cats, and rodents would fall under this category. I am pretty confident I can beat most fish as well. I mean, just look at them. An interesting inversion of the topic would be, what is the smallest thing that you definitely lose to? For me, I don't think it would be an insect. Sure, the mosquito is the animal that has caused the most deaths in human history, but just ask my family, I can kill so many mosquitoes that I would get a VTuber banned. As for the larger bugs, it would be gross to deal with them, but the difference in size and power would be too great. No, it would probably be one of the snakes or falcons. Both of them have speeds that make dodging near impossible. The snake would be able to inject lethal venom, and the falcon would slam into you like a cannonball. Sure, it might turn out to be a tie, but you definitely need a trip to the hospital afterwards. While it is fun to play around with hypothetical fights, it's a little depressing to know that we as humans are nowhere near the top tiers in terms of size, strength, speed, or durability. You know what we do win out in though? Rather than rely on our bare fists, what would your answer be if you were allowed to use weapons and vehicles? Well, if we had access to all of mankind's technology, not even the sky would be our limit. Over the course of human history, the one thing that had allowed us to reign head and shoulders above the rest was our drive for knowledge and innovation. With traps, we captured small critters. With weapons, we hunted down brutes. And with vehicles, we could dwarf even the titans. Now, this might seem like a cop-out to you, and it is, but I am just trying to rephrase the question in a different way. The title of this video isn't referring to you, the individual, but you, the collective. You and I might be small, but even the mightiest of creatures pale in comparison to the things we can accomplish. It's depressing to think that the biggest thing that you can beat is a penguin. But it feels good to know that, despite this, we were the ones to come out on top. Later, Bozo. It's just one question. I've started recording. What is the biggest animal that you think you could beat in a fight?
Biggest animal that I can beat in a fight? Probably pig.